We will start with the historic background of RTI, and for this, I invite TanmayaPhani to please take over.
Good afternoon to one and all. Is my voice audible?
Yes, Tanmay.
Thank you. First of all, welcome to the today's program, Right to Information Act, to know the concept both in theory and also in practical way. The Right to Information Act 2005 has been passed and also came in from the enforcement from 12th October 2005. The RTA has taken its footsteps in India from 12th October 2005. It's been 17 years. Still, the Indian citizens are not aware to how to use this RTA Act. And I am pronouncing the words that Right to Information Act. RTA stands for Right to Information Act. Let me define you two things here. What is meant by right and what is meant by information? As we are all familiar with the term what is meant by act, I will explain you what is meant by right and what is meant by information. The term right is nothing but having an interest of a person or a group of persons having a common interest which is recognized and also which is protected by the rule of law. That is what we called as a right. And what we call information is nothing but a knowledge we are having on a particular aspect or a thing, that is called as right to information. That means if we want any information, then we are having a right which is granted under constitution, that we can seek any information from the government organizations or from any private establishment regarding the information which we wanted. And coming to the historical background of RTA Act, firstly, the RTA has taken its footsteps in the year 1766, and the RTA law has been developed in the Sweden country. After 2 decades from the year 1766, the RTA has taken its growth in the US in the year 1966. After taking the establishment of RTA Act both in the countries of Sweden and also USA, the RTA has came into force from 1790 in the country of Norway. Later, it was came into force in Australia, New Zealand, and also Canada from the year 1982. Later, in the year 1985, the RTA has came into force in Denmark. Later, in the year 1986, the RTA has came into force in the country of Greece. Later, in the year 1987, it has taken from the implementation of RTI in the country of Austria, and in the year 1990, the RTA has been implemented in the country of Italy. And coming to the historical background of RTI in India, as we are discussing, our India has got the functioning and also implementation of RTA Act from the year 2005. Prior to that, what has happened for the arrival of this RTA Act into India? For the first time, the citizens of India has came to know that they can seek the government information and also the activities which are performed by the government people through the help of RTI, and it was recognized for the first time by Justice K.K. Mathew, and it was decided in the case State of Uttar Pradesh versus Raj Narayan. And coming to the next instant case, that is S.P. Gupta versus Union of India, the apex court has held that the right which is granted under our Constitution, Article 19, Clause 1, Clause A, every citizen of India is having a right of freedom of speech and expression, and that is related with right to information. That means the right to information is right which is granted and which is connected with the Article 19 Clause 1 Clause A of our Indian Constitution. And coming to the next instant case, that is Mr. Kulvar versus Jaipur Municipal Corporation, the Supreme Court in this present case has held that the expression and the right granted under Article 19 Clause 1 Clause A, that is what we are saying, that the right of freedom of speech and expression is also clearly implemented that the right to information can be sought and also can be get with the help of Article 19. And coming to the next historical background, which has happened in India, various campaigns has been conducted to bring the awareness among the people of our Indian citizens, and also the first campaign conducted for implementation of RTA has been started in the year 1994, and it was started by Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, and they had started and formulated the campaigns for implementing RTI. Next, in the year 1996, the National Campaign for People's RTA has been established, and this is the first committee which has formulated the initial draft and the model of RTA law, which to give the help and to assist the government regarding how the RTA law should perform and also how it should be function. Next, among our Indian country, the Tamil Nadu state is the first state which implemented the RTI Act in the year 1997. Next, the RTI Act has been passed in the year 2005, and prior to RTI Act, Freedom of Information Act, which was passed in the year 2002. Later, the bill which was presented before the Parliament has turned into Act, and that Act we are calling it as Right to Information Act, and it was passed in the year 2005. Thank you. This was the brief about the historical background of RTI Act.